Now, I've got a picture of a barometer here, and this is mercury in it, okay? And notice the units. See where it says over here on the right-hand side, it says IN for inches and HG. If you remember from back from lesson one when I showed you the periodic table of the elements, uh, each element has like a one or two letter symbol for it. Well, Hg is the symbol for mercury. So this is the units, inches of mercury. Okay, and you notice where the shiny silver mercury is. It's up around just a little bit, somewhere between 29 and 30 inches of mercury. Okay, that's kind of where the atmospheric pressure is. Now you'll notice next to it there's this other measurement. It says mmHg. Mm is for millimeters. And I don't know if you remember, there's 25.4 millimeters in an inch. Okay. So this scale, see where I've got the 760 in the red box and there's a 770 above it and 750 below it. Okay. It's just another way of measuring how tall that column of mercury is. Okay. Now, notice the mercury did not change position. All that changed was how I was measuring it, inches versus millimeters. Okay. It's still the same atmospheric pressure. Okay. So the units are the same.
Hey,
Right. Now we're
Professor,
talking. Yeah, go ahead.
question of curiosity. So when I was growing up and when I was in school, they said that gravity was what held us to the Earth. And they said that the Earth spinning somehow has to do with the creation of the gravity, and that if we stopped spinning, that we would all fly off of the Earth, essentially, because there would basically be no gravity to hold us to the Earth. But, and like I said, a question of curiosity. Let's say that the Earth did stop spinning. Would that mean that it would actually we're primarily glued to the Earth by the atmospheric pressure?
Great question. Okay. And let me talk to a few things there. So, and we will actually look at gravity and what causes gravity a little bit later, but I'm happy to address it here. Gravity is an attraction between any two things that have mass. Okay? You have mass, the earth has mass. You're attracted to each other. It's just the way God made the universe work. Okay? And there's a very in my mind a very simple equation that actually lets us we can actually put a number to how strong gravity is. Okay? And because Earth has a lot of mass, okay, it actually creates a real strong pull to itself compared to us, right? We're probably around 60 kilograms. The mass of the Earth is like 10 to the 34th kilograms, like a number with 34 zeros before you get to the decimal. Okay. But we still have one equation. We have one equation that says if I know the two masses and I know the distance between the two of the masses, I can tell you how much force there is. Okay. So your statement about spinning, okay, being the source of gravitational force, that's actually not true. Okay. Just the fact that you have mass and the Earth have mass, that's why we have gravity. Okay. Now, in another lesson, probably, yeah, I think it's, let's see, we're going to look at air, we're going to look at water. No, we've already looked at water, we looked at air. We're going to look at weather here in like the next lesson or so. And you'll see, we're going to talk about what the spinning of the Earth does. Okay. It's primarily the way it affects weather. Okay. But the spin of the Earth, okay, the fact that it is spinning does add some to our motion towards the middle of the Earth, but it's way less than gravity. Okay, but it is there. Okay, and let's see, the atmosphere. Oh yes, your statement about the atmospheric pressure holding us to the Earth. yes, that 14.7 pounds per square inch, that does have an effect of helping keep us on the planet. So there's lots of pieces there, but gravity in and of itself does not require anything to be spinning. Okay, the spinning adds to the force of gravity, but it's actually a different force than gravity. So let me pause.
I
Did I answer your
appreciate that.
question?
Yes, yes, you did. Yes, you did. You can't see me, but I'm listening.
Okay. You can't see me, my eyes are closed. Like a little kid would say, right? All righty. So we're talking about Mercury here, and Mercury is number 80. Okay, it's kind of right down here. See the word elements, see the S in the word elements. If you come down, you'll drop down, you'll see a little ZN with the number 30, and below that you'll see a CD with the number 48, and then below that you'll see HG with the number 80. Okay, let me blow that up. So that's HG with the number 80. Okay, that 80 actually means that there are 80 protons in the nucleus, but you don't need to worry about that. But here's some of the history of Mercury. Okay, originally discovered about 1500 years BC, and it was named after the planet Mercury. And as we saw in that tube, and we see in this picture, it's a lovely shiny silvery metal. And at room temperature, meaning around 68 degrees Fahrenheit, it's a liquid. But just like water freezes and boils, guess what? At the right temperatures, mercury freezes and boils. But check out these temperatures. It freezes at minus 38 degrees Fahrenheit, so 38 degrees below zero. A cold winter day in Alaska. Yes, I've lived there. I've experienced these days where it's that cold. So mercury, I've been in temps that mercury will freeze. But that's not happening here in Houston. Probably not happening in Arizona either. Okay. Check out the boiling point. Yes, those numbers are correct. 674 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. So unless you've got a really hot oven, most of the time here on Earth, it's going to sit around as a liquid. Now, as we saw, we use them in barometers, thermometers. If you're old like me, you remember seeing them used in thermostats as electric switches because they do conduct electricity pretty nicely. Now, this was interesting. I didn't know that. I was doing some digging. They actually use mercury to help make bright red paint. So chemically, it helps make a bright red paint. And they get used in light bulbs. And we actually see them in a lot of different light bulbs. And they actually make our light bulbs more efficient. And if you've worked with fluorescent lights, Joe, you probably can look up and see a fluorescent light bulb where you're sitting. I'm guessing. There's mercury in there. Okay. And we've seen them in a bunch of different shapes. You know, we've got the little straight line, we got the circulars, we got the YouTube shaped ones. And the reason I'm pretty sure that you can see one where you are, Joe, is that there's, you know, you get used a lot in commercial buildings and things like that. And so there's probably one or more sitting above you there. Guess what? We also use them in bug zappers. And more recently, we've started replacing our old-fashioned, thank you to Thomas Edison light bulbs, the incandescent light bulbs with what are known as compact fluorescent lamps, CFLs. Yeah, there's a few pictures here. Now, notice that an individual light bulb has less than 10 milligrams, okay? So a little tiny bit, but it's still there. They also get used in things like tanning lamps and black lights. Maybe you've seen of late, you've seen these small lamps you can carry around that claim to disinfect things, right? Known as germicidal lamps. Okay, those light bulbs are tuned to create ultraviolet light, and the ultraviolet light kills the bugs. Okay, they also get used in neon lamps, and large buildings, a lot of times in gymnasiums and stuff, they'll use these things called mercury vapor lamps or halogen lamps. Those have mercury in them. And you may be thinking, okay, Professor Jurek, why are you rambling on about mercury? Well, guess what? Mercury actually has a number of bad effects on us humans. Okay? It can disrupt the nervous system. Okay? It can damage the brain, causing degradation of learning abilities, personality changes, tremors, vision changes, deafness, muscle and coordination, memory loss, or if you notice these things, it could be mercury or you just could be getting old. Anyway, um, it can damage our DNA, okay? And it can also, we can get allergic reactions. I watched a video about that went 15 minutes. It was a doctor reporting how somebody had spilled like 2 drops of mercury, a certain kind of mercury in a chemical composition on their skin. And within a few months, they had passed away because the body had absorbed it so fast and then it had caused so much damage to their brain that basically every bodily function shut down. Okay. So I tell you all of that. Okay. Even when you're working with the CFLs and fluorescent light bulbs, please, 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 please be very careful.